On today's Warehouse Safety Tips Wednesday, we'll be covering the 6S methodology, part 2, so stay tuned. Welcome to Warehouse Safety Tips. You can find the show notes to each episode, links to information mentioned on the podcast, the social media platforms we're on, and anything else related to the podcast at warehousesafetytips.com. Now, if you're a seasoned podcast listener, this podcast is going to be different from most you listen to. It's based around exactly what the name implies, warehouse safety tips. And since the people in this industry are busy, we know that time is money and each episode will be as short and to the point as possible. And now, with all of that out of the way, let's get to the podcast. On last week's podcast, we covered the 6S methodology and the first S of it, sort. Just to catch you up, that's where you sort and categorize items. In teasing this week's podcast, we said we'd be covering set and order, but we actually have two S's for you. So in addition to set and order, we'll also be covering shine. Setting an order is organizing and arranging the items or equipment you use in the most efficient order. The ultimate goal of this step is to make sure that your work area and overall facility are as organized, productive, and logical as possible. If anything you're doing feels like it could be done in less time or fewer steps, then this step is most likely the one you'll want to revisit. Shining, in the simplest of terms, is cleaning. If you've ever worked at a location where there are multiple shifts and or several staff members working in the same area, you've more than likely experienced what it's like to work in an untidy area. Even though hearing it can sometimes make you cringe, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. Cleaning will make your immediate area more pleasing, and in addition, keeping your tools, equipment, and area clean will help prevent injuries and assist in overall maintenance. On our next podcast, we'll be covering the remaining S's, standardize, sustain, and safety. Until then, have a safe day. Before moving on, here's a word from one of our sponsors. If you've ever been to or worked in a warehouse, you know just how important safety is to both management and staff. It's almost impossible to go 10 steps without seeing safety tape, angles, signs, and or safety products. It's these items that show us how to be safe and avoid danger in the workplace. And if you're looking for the best products to make this happen, look no further than Mighty Line. Mighty Line floor signs and floor markings offer the best industrial products out there. We're proud to have Mighty Line as the official floor sign and floor marking company for the Warehouse Safety Tips podcast and site. Go to mightylinetape.com/safety tips to request a sample pack of their incredible safety signs and floor markings. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Warehouse Safety Tips. If you visit warehousesafetytips.com, you'll find the show notes for this episode and access to all of our blog posts, previous podcasts, advertiser information, and much more. Thank you for listening to Warehouse Safety Tips and have a safe day.